There's Brendan Clark. Well worked by Redmont Rangers, and Josh Sargent is in the box. What an unbelievable save by the Coventry goalkeeper. We are deep in December here in episode 87 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode on EAFC 24. 3 games to get to in today's episode, starting with a trip to Goodison Park to face Everton, and then followed by 2 consecutive home games, first against Brighton and Hove Albion, and then against Coventry City. This is the way that Everton will line up a really strong 11, bolstered by the new arrivals of several high-quality players. Joe Willock in midfield, Willie Nonto out on the left, Lucas Mecha up front, captained by Ben Godfrey as well. Marco Asensio even on the bench alongside Kurt Zouma. 4 wins out of the last 5 for Everton as well, so in a really good run of form. We have an equally strong team though, the strongest 11, and we are bolstered by the return of Alex Petit to the lineup. His first game back since suffering that injury that kept him out for the first few months of the season. And the points are going to be shared at Goodison Park, a 0-0 draw. So not the result that we were looking for, but it is another point on the board that takes us ever closer to Premier League safety for a second consecutive season. And after the game, we sat down to hash out a new contract with Josh Sargent. Only 6 months left on his deal, but we're not letting him leave the club like Samson Tavide and potentially like Matthew Garber. He's only scored 4 goals this season. Disappointing tally in his 17 games, but he's still a really important part of the side. Too important to let walk. And we do lock him up for an additional 2 years. Which brings us to our second game of the episode against Brighton and Hove Albion at Redmont Arena. Not enjoying the same run of form that Everton have been enjoying. They've lost their last 2, and they have only won 2 out of the last 5. It's not going to be as strong in terms of the starting 11 for Brighton either. And the same can be said for us. 2 games in quick succession means we need to rotate the side slightly. Alex Lewis comes in for Alex Petit. Matthew Garber and Max Webber replace James McAtee and Christian Caceres in midfield, and Arthur Armstrong comes into the back line in place of Patrick Pfeiffer. And it is going to be yet another point on the board. Josh Sargent scoring in the first half, Mason Greenwood equalising for Brighton close to the end of the game, which takes us up to a massive 10 draws so far this season. 10 draws out of 19 games. We've drawn more than half of our fixtures so far. As long as we keep putting points on the board, though, we can't complain too much.
There's breaking news here in Redmont, as it seems that Rangers star winger has been the subject of a bid by a Premier League rival. Interest in Petit has been high since he has become a regular fixture in the Redmont first team, but his promising start to the season was cut short by injury. That doesn't seem to have dissuaded some teams from putting in an offer though, and as we draw ever closer to the opening January transfer window, it seems that Petit's future is going to become clear very soon. We'll have to see if Petit is going to feature in the next game against Coventry. 3 points are vital, so a potential Alex Petit absence could well be telling.
Which brings us to our featured game of the episode against Coventry City. Fellow strugglers in the Premier League this season. They are down towards the bottom of the table along with us. So a really important fixture here, important that we get 3 points. This is the way that Coventry are going to line up, that 5-2-1-2 formation that we saw in the simmed game in the last episode. Less than fully fit across the board by the looks of it, Coventry today. It's a congested time of the year as we approach January, and it's taken its toll on Coventry as well as on us. And this is the way that we're going to line up today. We're going to go with a 4-3-3 formation for what I think is the first time this season. Bobek in goal, and a back 4 today of Denzel Dumfries, Patrick Pfeiffer, Jesse Cartwright and Barley Mumba. Max Webber is going to play in the holding role, and Christian Caceres and James McAtee will play just in front of him. Brendan Clark comes in on the left-hand side, Ismail Assar comes in on the right, and Josh Sargent continues up front. So a notable absence in terms of Alex Petit here today. Not in the starting lineup, not on the bench. The rumours are swirling. Interest has been shown in Alex Petit all year long. And as we approach January, that interest is heating up rather than dying down. So no Alex Petit at all in the side today. So we are up in the commentary booth for this one. Redmont Rangers versus Coventry City at a quiet Redmont Arena. The fans not enjoying what they've seen out of their side so far this season, particularly at home. We have really struggled this year. We are just about doing enough to keep ourselves out of the relegation zone. However, Redmont Rangers fans really not getting their money's worth in home fixtures. We've scored very few goals here at Redmont Arena this season. We've picked up very few points so far this season too. It's an early free kick here for Christian Caceres in this game though. It's going to be an important one. Coventry City, a team who are also struggling down towards the bottom end of the table. So if we can get a win over them and create a little bit more distance between us and the relegation zone, that would obviously be something that would very much work to our advantage. Christian Caceres is going to try one from range here. It's a decent strike. It's on target, but it is collected by the goalkeeper. He manages to hang on. Josh Sargent sniffing around for a rebound, but it never came. Josh Sargent revitalised, hopefully, after signing his new deal. Will stay in Redmont for an additional 2 seasons after this one. He had a really good season last year. 19 goals was the tally he put up during his first season in the Premier League for Redmont. But it's been slightly tougher going this year for Josh Sargent as Brendan Clark tries to get in at the back post, but it's headed clear by Coventry. Only a handful of goals this year for our number 9, as Patrick Pfeiffer does well to delay the Coventry City attack. Jesse Cartwright does even better to cut out the pass there, and Denzel Dumfries comes away with it. Max Webber in midfield holds off the Coventry press, and we have players forward including James McAtee. Denzel Dumfries up from his right back position as well. Ismail Assar couldn't quite get away from the Coventry man to make a run in behind. He does well to pressure him high up the pitch though and pin him in deep in their own final third. Good work from Ismail Assar, playing on the right hand side for us today. Brendan Clark on the left. No Alex Petit, of course. Lots and lots of interest in Alex Petit, and as we approach January, you have to assume his absence means that offers potentially have been made for him. Christian Caceres running in behind. Cut out by Coventry. Dangerous pass there, but it does work out for the Sky Blues. And they can come away on this left-hand side. Not for long, though. Bali Mumba makes the interception. Ismail Assar again pressing high up the pitch and almost managing to steal the ball away there. The same can be said for Josh Sargent. Ismail Assar still not giving up the chase. And James McAtee eventually over pursues, and Coventry managed to slip the ball through. Cut out again well by the captain Jesse Cartwright. James McAtee once more is in space. Denzel Dumfries. Good run from James McAtee, and Denzel Dumfries has found him. James McAtee's going to strike across goal. Good save by the Coventry goalkeeper. Again, Josh Sargent was in the area waiting for a rebound, but he managed to parry it just far enough away that there wasn't any additional danger. Brendan Clark strikes from range. Really good effort that's on target, and again the goalkeeper parries away, this time for a Redmont Rangers corner. It's going to be Christian Caceres to put it in. We'll have Ismail Assar running across the near post, but we will look for Josh Sargent in the box. Taken down by the Coventry City defender and blocked by Brendan Clark, and out for a Coventry throw. Quarter of an hour gone in the game, and it's been a positive start by Redmont. Couple of half chances in the game so far. James McAtee looking to slip Josh Sargent through for a more clear-cut chance though. Coventry City get back to block. Pressure still for Coventry as Josh Sargent almost blocks the clearance by the goalkeeper. An interesting pass from Denzel Dumfries, and Ismail Assar can come away on this right-hand side. Crosses in towards Brendan Clark at the back post. Cleared by Coventry. Bali Mumba picks up the charge. Gets it onto his right foot and crosses. Cleared again by Coventry. Josh Sargent not in the box that time. We would rather he had switched places with Brendan Clark there. Brendan Clark, it was competing for the header whilst Josh Sargent was on the edge of the box, and Brendan Clark has made a good run here. Coventry defender wants offside. I don't think he is. And the referee does wave play on. Brendan Clark, what a save by the goalkeeper. Struck it back towards the near post after cutting inside onto his right foot. And it's another good stop by the Coventry City goalkeeper. Good reactions at his near post there. So another corner here for Christian Caceres, but from the opposite side. Lofts it deeper this time towards Jesse Cartwright. James McAtee on the edge. Lays it off for Max Webber, who strikes narrowly wide. The goalkeeper confident that it was going wide. And you can see it well. The ball was curling back towards that bottom corner. Not quite enough to cause any real danger. But not a terrible effort from Max Webber. Jesse Cartwright seems to have picked up a knock though. Possibly a collision in the air as he challenged for the ball during that previous corner. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Certainly not a player that we can afford to lose. We could do with adding an additional centre-back in January rather than losing one. Josh Sargent in space in the area. Coventry City again block. It's been all Redmont Rangers so far though. And surely at some point this pressure will tell. Max Webber, Denzel Dumfries, nice little 1-2. And Dumfries is in space on this right-hand side. Josh Sargent in the box. Denzel Dumfries picks it up, strikes with his left foot, blocked by the goalkeeper, cleared by Coventry. We are piling this pressure on. Ismail Assar now. Brendan Clark wants the ball at the back post. Ismail Assar almost finds him. Will Bali Mumba get there? Yes, he will. Only just. Lays it back to Jesse Cartwright. Denzel Dumfries on the right-hand side. And he's found well by Jesse Cartwright. Denzel Dumfries can't quite beat his man outside. And Coventry City could be away. Max Webber coming back to cover Dumfries. And he's done a good job just of delaying the counter-attack. Really good pressure early in this game from Redmont. Nicely worked from Coventry here, though, as they come away. Jesse Cartwright intercepts, and it does look like he's been able to run off that knock. That's a brilliant sign. Brendan Clark on the left-hand side. Josh Sargent applying the pressure. Christian Caceres steals it away with help from Ismail Assar, and Brendan Clark could be away here. Bali Mumba's outside him. Just overhit the pass, though, and the ball goes out of play. I think we've got a word from Polly Champion down on the touchline regarding Alex Petit.
Alex Petit's absence from the side today has been noted by many, and I'm told he's not even in Redmont. Petit isn't in attendance today as he is in Wolverhampton undergoing a medical with a view to joining the side in January. Updates as they come.
So, interesting developments in the Alex Petit situation. You would think Redmont Rangers could have done with their excellent young winger here today. Potentially he might have put one of the opportunities that Brendan Clark has had so far in the back of the net. But he's a hot prospect at the moment. And Redmont Rangers could certainly use some reinforcements in January. Only 15 million in the bank at the moment, so if we are going to be adding players, that money's going to have to come from somewhere. Denzel Dumfries in towards Josh Sargent once more. Cleared, but Ismail Assar recycles. Max Webber can't bring it under control. And again, Coventry try and come away. But again, we do a good job of delaying. Poor pass from Brendan Clark. Bali Mumba intervenes excellently. Denzel Dumfries turns and rolls his man. And he's away on this right-hand side. James McAtee is inside him. Coventry get a foot on the ball. Bali Mumba's in space on that left-hand side. Great ball from Denzel Dumfries to find him. And Brendan Clark is one-on-one. Lays it back to Bali Mumba. There's Christian Caceres. Immediately met by Coventry pressure. Jesse Cartwright goes back to Patrick Pfeiffer. Barley Mumba once more on the left. There's Brendan Clark. Well worked by Redmont Rangers, and Josh Sargent is in the box. What an unbelievable save by the Coventry goalkeeper. A shot from Josh Sargent from point blank range on the volley. And the goalkeeper reacts incredibly and tips it up onto the bar. It's going to be another Redmont Rangers corner. Christian Caceres to put it in. So 5 minutes to go until half-time. Still trying to find the deadlock here. Jesse Cartwright once more at the back post. James McAtee picks it up from the poor clearance from Coventry. Just chips it back into the box where Ismail Assar lies in wait. Jesse Cartwright is on the floor. Ismail Assar smashes it straight past him. Potentially Coventry can feel aggrieved there. Jesse Cartwright laying on the ground in the 6-yard box. You could easily argue he was offside and interfering with play. Certainly you could argue he was in the way of the goalkeeper. But the referee says play on. Ismail Assar smashes the ball across goal into the top corner, and there's absolutely nothing the goalkeeper can do about that one. And just before half-time, it is a goal for Redmont Rangers to break the deadlock. Goal for Redmont Rangers, scored by number 7, Ismail Assar. So just a couple minutes to hang on until half-time. And we could potentially be in for a second before half-time here. Barley Mumba finds Josh Sargent, strikes from the edge of the box. Straight at the Coventry goalkeeper. Either side of him, that could have been a real issue. But again, we pick up the ball almost immediately. Oh, but Denzel Dumfries, poor pass. Max Webber in space inside, but Denzel Dumfries can't find him. 2 minutes of added time, and we are into the first. Just a minute to hang on to this 1-goal lead. A lead of any kind at half-time I would be more than happy with, based on the recent run of form that we've had, certainly in played games. And it is going to be 1-0 Redmont Rangers at half-time. Ismail Assar finally making the pressure count. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory Career Mode. If you're enjoying the video, please take a second to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. There's going to be plenty more realistic content like this to come in 2024, and every little bit of engagement helps to grow the channel and bring these videos to more and more viewers. Drop a comment too, let me know what you thought of today's game, who our man of the match was, or really just any feedback you have about the series. I always love to hear from you guys, and I've got some great ideas about how to get you more involved going forward. But that's enough rambling from me. Let's get back to the action. So out for the second half against Coventry. Jesse Cartwright unfortunately picked up another knock in that first half. We saw him sitting on the ground in the 6-yard box as Ismail Assar struck across goal to put us 1-0 up. And we have brought him off for this second half. We brought Kenji Yamada on to replace Jesse Cartwright. Still not sure of the nature of the injury. I'm sure we'll get an update some point in this second half from Holly Champion. But for now, we've taken him off as a precautionary measure, if nothing else. Max Webber can't quite find the space to strike from the edge of the box. And Coventry could be away here. We're going to have to be far more wary defensively in this second half. Denzel Dumfries doing well again just to delay that Coventry City attack. Denzel Dumfries the man with the armband in this second half in Jesse Cartwright's absence. Really good ball from James McAtee just to lay it off to Josh Sargent. There's Christian Caceres in the box. Can he finish? Yes, he can. And he doubles the lead. Fantastically worked from Redmont Rangers through the middle. That's something we haven't been able to do so far this season, really. Most of our opportunities coming from out wide. But Christian Caceres slips through the middle. And it's a really composed finish from the midfielder. Nicely worked from James McAtee to lay it off. And it's the outside of the left foot from Christian Caceres. Goalkeeper again absolutely helpless. And 5 minutes into this second half, Christian Caceres has doubled the lead. Goal for Redmont Rangers, scored by number 14, Christian Caceres. Bali Mumba, left-hand side, trying to really twist the knife now. There's Brendan Clark, can't quite find Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent continuing to apply the pressure high up the pitch though. Coventry City, it looks like the wind has been taken from their sails now. They came out with a real impetus in that second half. They seemed more aggressive, more urgent on the ball, more eager to get on the front foot. But that second goal really seems to have knocked the wind out of them here. Josh Sargent cuts inside. Patrick Pfeiffer's there. Kenji Yamada. Bali Mumba on the left-hand side. Can't find Brendan Clark. Does get a fortunate bounce, though. And there's Max Weber. Trying a nice little reverse pass to Christian Caceres there, but couldn't quite find him. Well won again in midfield by Redmont Rangers, though. That's one thing that has been particularly good today. We've been able to win the ball back when we've lost it very, very quickly. What a ball that is from Bobek. And I think Brendan Clark was offside. Couple of changes for Coventry then. We're not going to make any of our own just yet. But there will be more changes to come in this second half. There are a handful of players in the side who I'm sure are feeling the effects of the congested fixtures. Max Weber in particular, I think, is going to need to come off before too long. James McAtee doing really well just to force a mistake from Coventry there. Slide and tackle almost allowed them to somehow find a path through our defensive line, but not quite as fortunate as it initially looked like it might be. Denzel Dumfries picks up the loose header from Coventry. Ismail Assar up ahead of him, and he's away on this right-hand side here. Josh Sargent in the box. Pass just a little too far behind him from Ismail Assar. Good challenge from James McAtee, though. Ismail Assar can't bring it under control. It's been a better performance from Denzel Dumfries today as well. He's defended very well. He's got forward from his right-back position particularly well. He's not quite had the season that I was hoping he would have when we brought him in on loan again from Inter Milan. But he's performed very well today. Ismail Assar also performed very well today. It's been relentless, constant in his pressure. And he's done it again there. Almost enabling Josh Sargent to steal the ball away from Coventry. Almost well worked. Bali Mumba on his toes there to cut out the pass, though. And Ismail Assar will come away with the ball at his feet once more. Patrick Pfeiffer. Bali Mumba in space on the left-hand side. Brendan Clark up ahead of Bali Mumba. And we have players in the box, one of whom is Josh Sargent. Bali Mumba couldn't quite find him. Denzel Dumfries once more. Twists and turns, trying to get away from the Coventry man, but just recycles. Patrick Pfeiffer gives it away. That's not the pass we need to be attempting to make there. There were safer options. And really good defender from Denzel Dumfries means we're not punished. It's a nice little ball up towards Ismail Assar as well. Couldn't quite drop it in the bucket, though. Max Weber very much is struggling for fitness at this point. James McAtee could potentially find the run of Ismail Assar here, and he has. We have men in the box, but so do Coventry, and they have more than us. Denzel Dumfries. Back heel to Ismail Assar. A little bit more space to cross now. But again cleared by Coventry City. Max Weber can't collect on the edge of the box. But it's been a comfortable second half for us so far. The early goals certainly settled the nerves coming out after the break. And again, that's excellent defensive work by Ismail Assar. He hasn't allowed Coventry City a moment on the ball, and we do get a free kick here. It's going to give us an opportunity to make a couple more changes. So it's going to be a triple change. James McAtee, Ismail Assar, Max Weber all coming off. Matthew Garbutt, Josh Key and Marko Shevchuk to replace them. This will be one of Josh Key's last performances for Redmont, you would imagine. He has signed that pre-contract agreement, so he will be leaving in the summer. Could drop here to Bali Mumba, and it does. Snatches at the shot and it goes just wide. Goalkeeper probably had it covered anyway. And Coventry City, with about 20 minutes to go in the game, including stoppage time, really behind the 8 ball here. They're going to need to throw players forward to try and get a goal back sooner rather than later if they are going to get anything from this game. We are obviously going to do all we can to prevent them from doing that. Bali Mumba doing exactly that in defence, as he has been all game. It's been a good performance from Bali Mumba as well. I feel like it's been good performances across the pitch today for Redmont Rangers. Kenji Yamada, loose touch there. Does just about manage to hook it clear, and Christian Caceres actually lays it off for Josh Key, and we could be away on this right-hand side. Look dangerous there for a moment. Josh Key spots the run of Christian Caceres up ahead, but it's a poor pass. A little bit rusty, potentially, Josh Key. He hasn't played a lot of football recently. Denzel Dumfries completely usurping him from the side. And it showed there. Good challenge again for Bali Mumba. Christian Caceres coming back just to delay that Coventry City attack once more. Matthew Garbutt in midfield as well. Continues to hold on to a place in the Redmont Rangers squad. We'll see how long that continues as well, as Josh Key puts in a good challenge. Coventry City corner. 10 minutes to go in the game. And we still hold that 2-goal lead. It's a short one from Coventry. Christian Caceres and Bali Mumba there to meet it. It's a long shot from Coventry, both literally and metaphorically. Not much chance of that going in. And Josh Key finds Josh Sargent. Denzel Dumfries up ahead of him now. Matthew Garbutt through the middle. This is nicely worked from Redmont Rangers, but Matthew Garbutt didn't have anybody up in support. Denzel Dumfries is playing a more forward role now. He's playing right wing rather than right back, as Kenji Yamada does well. Misread the ball in the air initially, allowing the Coventry City man to take it down, but he did well to recover and put in the challenge. Christian Caceres. Josh Key on the right-hand side once more. And he's got space to travel inside here. Brendan Clark on the left-hand side is cut out well by Coventry, but it's a loose touch and it allows Brendan Clark to pick it up. Shevchuk strikes from range. A green timed shot, but blocked by the Coventry City defender. And that's another loose touch. Denzel Dumfries can't get there, though. Great challenge from Shevchuk. Linesman flags. Does go out. We're going to make our last change of the game. It looks like Coventry are going to do the same here. Channock coming off for Callum O'Hare. And we will bring Josh Sargent off for Dane Scarlett. Still trying to find a true backup striker. And number 2 to Josh Sargent. Samson Tavide hasn't really stepped up into that role, and he also, like Josh Key, has secured a pre-contract agreement elsewhere, so we'll only have him for the second half of the season. He will be gone in the summer. Dane Scarlett hasn't really done much of anything for us either, so that is a position that we need to continue to try to address. Kenji Yamada initially poor position and allowed the Coventry man in behind, but again it's good defending. Brendan Clark, poor pass. That's an immature pass, that one. It's the kind of pass a young player would make. Denzel Dumfries into the box. Not too much there in terms of Redmont Rangers players to aim for. 3 minutes of added time have already begun. And so it does look like we're going to be able to come away with the victory here today. Really good performance all round. It's been a pretty dominant performance, to be honest. Coventry City really haven't tested us very much at all. I don't even really remember them having a shot on target. I certainly don't remember Alexander Bobek being particularly challenged at any point. And it's been the complete opposite for us. We have challenged their goalkeeper on a number of occasions. He's made several very good saves, but 2 chances he could do nothing about. Ended up in the back of the net, and it is going to be 2-0 Redmont Rangers here. The fans finally get a win at home. And it's going to put a bit more distance between us and Coventry, us and the relegation zone. And we should be sitting a little bit more comfortably now as we approach January and the opening of the transfer window. So a fantastic result at home in front of the Redmont Rangers fans, but they would have also seen Jesse Cartwright go down in that first half just before Ismail Assar's goal, and it is going to be a broken toe for Jesse Cartwright. He's going to be out for the next 3 months. Thankfully, we are coming up on January, so there will be an opportunity to bring in some cover for Jesse Cartwright, but the captain going down is certainly not ideal at this stage of the season. We do, however, climb a few more places in the table. We're all the way up to 13th now on a very comfortable 25 points from 20 games played. Coventry continue to sit on just 16 points in the league, so we are a full 9 points, a full 3 wins ahead of the relegation zone now. Leicester City and Crystal Palace down there at the bottom of the table, each on 10 points as well. Leeds just out of the relegation zone on goal difference at the moment, but they do have a game in hand. And at the top of the table, it's very, very tightly contested. Spurs sit on 39 points. Newcastle in second on 38, but they do have a game in hand as well. Arsenal sit in third on 37. Manchester City also on 37, but also with a game in hand. And then Manchester United, Liverpool also in the running for not just the top 4 in a European place, but that title as well. So a big episode coming up in the next one. We've got a tough draw in the FA Cup as we host Manchester United at home. We play our return fixture against Arsenal in the league as well, and that is at the Emirates. And then we host Nottingham Forest at Redmont Arena for another league game. It is, of course, the opening of the January transfer window in the next episode as well, though. There will be comings and goings this transfer window. We'll be putting in some work behind the scenes to try and make some big moves happen, to try and keep the momentum that we've built in this episode going into the second half of the season. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.